Okay, let's go. We have an unboxing for the flagship ThieAudio. It's called the Valhalla. I believe it's 19 driver set. I took a look earlier. This is the box. I've obviously not opened it. Let me put that to the side. This is a 19 driver set. I don't know if you can get this in other options as far as cap go. 4-way crossover, 4 sound tube, Elite Noir cable, 19 BAs. Ultra high 1 Knowles, high frequency 4 Knowles, mid frequencies 10 Sonian, low frequency 4 Sonian. 10, 4, 18, 19. My quick math, that is all branded drivers. Hold on just a second. Before we continue, are they advertising this? Because they really should be. Oh, it's literally right there. Genuine imported drivers, precision based system. I'm not sure what that is. I'll look into this. I haven't really checked anything except it had 19 drivers, and now I'm confirming that. I swear when I first checked this a month ago, it looked like there were 4 drivers like stuck in the middle that were kind of vaguish, but they're identifying all of them, including on the side of the box. Yay. This is where the appreciation for working with a company like Linsol comes in, because they're not asking me to stick my neck out and say, yeah, these custom drivers sound real good, etc., etc. When they could actually be the same stuff that's pretty much going into KZs or the $50 to $150 sets from a year and a half ago. But let's get back to this. So this is the ThieAudio Valhalla. It's an all BA set. It's 19 BAs per side, and all of them are Knowles and Sonian. Oh, and I'm blessed. Anybody remember when the first ThieAudios came out? Getting the sleeves off was an absolute battle. Let me put that over there. That Hibby R8, the OG R8, that thing sounds really nice. I'm glad I got that. I'm still updating it. The box looks familiar to the other ThieAudio in the series. Magnet type. This looks like what's the last one that I got? Ah, boy, I can't remember. Oh, was it the Origin, I think? Looks similar to that in its presentation. Now, before I continue, let's keep it a buck, as they say. I just did a video and I said how impressed I am when you spend a lot of money and you get something like this Hibby box, which they don't really even do anymore. This is premium presentation. And then the APX-SC. My suggestion to the tuner for ThieAudio, and also to ThieAudio, because they would absolutely 100% watch this video, is in the future, for your flagship, your premier set for the year. Let's, for example, maybe this isn't it, but let's say for 2025, maybe a special, let's say even the first 200, have a special kind of case, like a small leather little zip up bag. I'm going to show you this just because in China can get all kinds of, you could probably look at this and say, I know exactly where that is and where they got that, because this is Hibby. A smaller version of this where they open it up, and you don't have to have multiple trays or anything like this, but something that makes the person feel like I'm premium level. I don't believe that a lot of the sets that are up in the high presentation or the high price actually present themselves like that. The PMG audio does. I'm showing you Linsol and also the ThieAudio. These are examples. These are large. Again, this is $6,000 and this Hibby is a DAP, but something along the lines of upgrading the presentation would make for a smoother, this is just my personal opinion. It's $1,900. You're using all branded drivers. The only thing to the eye that looks different is, or that doesn't look different, is this looks like the Origin presentation, which isn't bad, but you know what I'm saying? Did you guys think I wasn't going to say this to like this set, but I was going to say to everything from everybody else? No, this is the warpath for the whole year. But the driver thing is set because it's all knows. Hold on just a second. So 4 Sonian, we got 14 Sonians in total and 5 Knowles on each side. 14 Sonian, including the 4 ESTs. 4 regular BAs, 4 ESTs, so 14 Sonians, and then 4 Knowles RDE, and then 1 Knowles WBFK. So the biggest issue that I have, which is, my CPU, I know what that is, and I can check, I can see all kinds of stuff. I can see people using games with all the settings maxed out, using tweaked firmwares. I can see just stock. I can see how it ranks worldwide. I can see price to performance based on, we're talking about graphics cards and CPUs. I can see the internals for this topping. I can see the internals for that right there. Just in this hobby, do we kind of do the trust us bro thing? I'm not with that anymore. I'm certainly not spending big money on that. This set has got that covered. Now, so I can focus on being critical about the presentation. Let's go ahead and take this out. Now, does this come out? Now, we're looking down straight. We have the 4.4, we have the 2.5, or 3.5. Let's see if there's anything on the end. There was nothing on the end, so I'm going to venture to say that we got a 3.5 and a 4.4, and they pretty much abandoned 2.5 like a lot of companies have. I'm going to try to be gentle when I pull these out. I definitely don't want to be taking these out. Nice and gentle. So many people fail right here in their excitement. Not right away, but they make this part loose right here. Oh, I can get under here. And then I get it out. And you think you're being way too sensitive. Yeah, this is $2,000, man. Be very careful when you're pulling these out. The weak point of this chain that you're pulling out is very, very, very thin little copper pins right here. It's a very, very weak point. These are actually gorgeous. Hey now. And it's got the kind that I don't like, but it's not it's only one-sided, so it's not doing anything to my shirt or to my palms. This looks like the very same cable that is on the Origin. It's with a metal shell. Those caps are gorgeous, actually. Very nice. 19 drivers. This looks like a total boss. A branded driver. 14 Sonians in here. 14 Sonians and 5 Knowles. That's such a beast. And this is the cable that I really liked on the Origin. It looks very similar to that. So we've got 3.5 and 4.4, and then we've got 2 sets of tips. Feels like the typical stuff that you get with ThieAudio, which is not bad by any means. I like this. This is pretty sharp. So of course I'll be doing a video on the main channel for this. And before I leave, just to drive it home, in case the point didn't get made the first time, there's a possibility that these stunning, seemingly very well made with a nice cable, $2,000 set, if it turns out in the way that I hope it does, because again, 14 Knowles and 14 Sonians and 5 Knowles, there's a potential this could turn out to be one of the better sets that I have in my collection, if not the best. And if that were the case, the only thing that I would be really looking at is, it's a shame that it's presented in the same way as $549 like Oracles or something, essentially the same way. I would advise the company to, now that you're in this level as far as asking for a price, maybe a small little leather pouch presentation, like something to differentiate this level of investment of monies, because these many drivers and this much cost and all of that, be reflected on the end user so that they could feel like they're getting the whole experience. It's called gilding the lily. It doesn't change the sound quality. It doesn't do anything else, but it makes a difference. The Susvara, amazing headphones. It's still my favorite to date. The cable that came with that when I bought it was like a garden hose. It absolutely did take away from the overall like first experience, because I'd gotten that cable with a cheaper Hi-Fi Man. So I know that when they put that Susvara together, they reached into a box of cables that they were putting into another box for $500 headphones and putting it in a $5,000 headphone. Does anybody remember that? Do you remember the cable that came with Susvara? Do you remember the cable, that same one that came with a $500 Hi-Fi Man, and when you opened that up, you're like, it certainly wasn't a wow moment. It was kind of took away from it a little bit. So I would say that for the Valhalla, the ones that follow along in its footsteps, the 2 kilobuck range IEMs, maybe a little more on the presentation side. And remember, I'm not going to get into this when it comes to the review, so I can use this and talk about it in the unboxing. Make people feel like they spent that money. This is possibly a set. I've seen a graph just done by ThieAudio. It looks a lot like my Jupiter, and it looks kind of like the Storm. It's in that lower, upper mid presentation, but not too bassy. Again, it's got a lot of drivers, so it's taking care of the multiple crossovers, 4-way crossovers, 4 sound tubes, Noir cable, 19 BA drivers. This has the possibility to be my king set. It sure would be nice to have it in a king set type of or different from the Oracle. You know what I'm saying? Hate to harp on that, but this is ThieAudio's turn to go through the crucible. I'm going to do it to everybody all year long. The biggest point being that in the consumer market, when it comes to electronic goods, we are very comfortable with researching what car has what engine and what version of what car has what upgrade stock, and if you want those, how much more would it cost to just buy regular and then upgrade to the ground effects kit, or just to buy the X version, or you would to buy a graphics card separately, or you would to buy the rebranded one where they're overclocking it a little bit and then sticking it in the box so you don't have to play around with OC with your firmware. We have all that info on the internet, and we have for years. So when you get a set of IEMs and you're kind of guessing like what exactly is in here, this isn't that case. But that seems just to be unacceptable to me, and I'm not really putting up with that anymore. So 14 Sonyans and 5 Knolls. Kendrick Lamar is going to be Super Bowl halftime, and my Philadelphia Eagles are in that game. I really do hope they win, but the fact that my Eagles are playing in a Super Bowl with Kendrick Lamar, who's going to be right where Tupac is, sorry, Tupac, he's literally inspired by you. He feels like he's carrying your torch, so he's going to take that spot. And I will find another spot for you. You were there for me, and then Kendrick came along and picked up the torch for the West, and I'm out.